What's up, everybody? Welcome to my review of the Thought Space Athletics Animus. I have two different ones in two different plastics. This is a relatively new disc from a relatively new company as well, and I'm always happy to add a new manufacturer to the playlist here that I'm building on the channel. Big thank you to OTB Discs for sponsoring this video. You can go to otbdiscs.com or find the link in the description and use my code NERD, N-E-R-D, to get free shipping on your order. When you shop on otbdiscs.com, you will get a picture of every disc, you will get a scaled weight for every disc, and they will also give you an idea of the flexibility of the plastic and the shape of the flight plate, whether or not it's domey or flat or anywhere in between. Big thank you to them for sponsoring the video. Thanks to all of you guys for watching and for your continued support. If you like what I do, please consider subscribing to the channel if you've not done so already. Stay tuned for future uploads. I'll also be doing a giveaway for this red one at the end of the video for my subscribers, so stay tuned for that as well. Let's get into the review of the Animus. So, two different ones, as I said, in two different plastics. Let's take a look at this one first. This blue one is in the ethereal plastic, and it actually looks almost identical to the plastic blend that I saw in the Mint Discs Freetail that I tested and reviewed previously a couple of weeks ago. This one has that same kind of rotational, beautiful, pearly, metallic look to the plastic. You can see right there, it's marked 174 grams. These are both right around max weight, according to that. And you can see just a really beautiful metallic color on this plastic. I really like this stamp as well. A really, really good looking disc. Beautiful color, easy to spot out there on the course. I'm going to move this guy over to the side and give you an idea of the dome on this one. So it's not board flat, nor is it really pop top. It'll pop a little bit, but for the most part, it's just kind of got a gradual dome. Nothing crazy there. This plastic has a little bit of give and flexibility to it, but it's on the firmer side, I would say. It's definitely not like really stiff, but it's not gummy. It does have some give under the thumb. It grips nice and it feels good in the hand overall. We will take a closer look at the profile of this thing in just a second. Let's take a look at this other one, and this one is in the Aura plastic. So this is more of a kind of traditional opaque plastic. There's a little bit of swirliness going on to this one, also marked 174. This one has very similar shape to the flight plate. No real dome to it, maybe slightly less domey than the ethereal one. This one feels a little grippier in my hands, I would say. Maybe even a little bit firmer, but right around the same. Maybe a little bit more, a little bit more firm when you try to flex it than this one. This one will flex a little easier, and I think I like the feel of this one better. This one also has a very kind of red and green and gold Christmassy type vibe going on with this thing, and since I'm actually going to be posting this video on Christmas Day, I'm going to do a Christmas giveaway for this one at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. This one feels really nice to me. I like the plastic a lot. Has a good grippy feel to it. It's nice and firm, but has enough give in the hand. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. And yeah, let's take a look at the profile of this thing. So, comfortable feel. The flight numbers on this disc are 11, 5, 0, and 2. I would say I pretty much agree with those. If it was a 3 for fade, I wouldn't be too opposed to it, but I think 2 makes sense. It doesn't have a ton of fade when thrown flat, but it holds a hyzer super well. We will get to all the flight footage and stuff later on in the video. But let's take another look here. Very comfortable. No hot spots, no sharp edges. It feels nice. Take a look at this blue one as well. Kind of put them side by side, get an idea here. I like to show them upside down like this so you can kind of see the overall shape and how it enters into that underside of the rim there, but I'm trying to make sure I show you guys both sides. Shout out to a viewer who left me a comment about that recently. And there it is. So really comfortable, no sharp edges, nice and smooth, and it's a very manageable rim size at 11 speed. I think that's a really great speed range for the average player to get good distance and good flights out of these without being so fast that they start to get a little bit squirrely or fade too aggressively if you don't have the arm speed for them. So let's take another look at these next to some other options. Now I don't have anything super equivalent. I wish I had like a Surge or a Wraith or something like that, 11 speed, to show next to these, but I don't. So I am just going to have some other interesting things around to give you an idea of what they look like next to something you might be familiar with. This is a Dana Vici Roaming Thunder CD2. This is the original first run of these in the S-Line plastic. And the reason I thought of this one is because it actually flies relatively similar in terms of stability, but it's slower. It's only a 9-speed. Let's put it up next to that. You can see the difference in the rim size there. The Animus definitely has more width to the rim. The CD2 is also, this one is very pop top. So you can see that as well, hopefully. But even though it's a little slower, relatively similar. Nice and straight stable for that disc, as I recall. And also, this one's a beauty, guys. This is a beautiful, super bright green pre-Sweden trespass. So, little history lesson here. If it has the digital weight marking on the bottom like that, that means it is before they were marked made in Sweden. It's an early run dynamic disc trespass. This one is in this beautiful kind of rare green lucid. I love this stuff. This older lucid opto plastic is so nice. Such a nice grippy feel. Hey, it's not not a review on the pre-Sweden lucid trespass, but it's just a beautiful disc that I still have in my collection. So the trespass speed 12. Definitely faster, definitely seems to go a little bit farther, and has a little more natural turn to it as well, especially depending on the run. Some of them are more overstable than others, but there it is next to this beautiful green lucid trespass. All in all, I really like the feel of this thing, and the plastic has a nice grippy feel to it, but it's nice and firm in the hand as well. If you want something super gummy, these are probably not the best for you. You might want this plastic is a touch more gummy, but still not so much. So let's talk about the flight of this thing. The Animus, really nice flyer. I would say just right off the bat that I think the Aura one, this red one, seemed to have a little bit more glide and a little bit more distance to it because of that. But not hugely so, but did seem to push a little bit farther and just hold up in the air a little bit longer than the blue ethereal plastic. So overall, it seemed like we settled into throwing this thing on Hyzer a lot, and I think part of that is because it was flying so nice on that angle. You could throw it flat and it'll fly nice and straight without much movement to the right at all, and it'll hold on a straight line and have a gentler fade when you throw it flat. But we kept throwing it on Hyzer, and I think it was because it was just flying so nice and smooth on that line. It was really accurate as well and had good distance. 11 speed is a really nice, kind of underrated speed range. We don't see a ton of discs released in this speed, but some of the ones that are, like the Wraith, is like just a classic disc that works super well for players that throw really far with a ton of speed, and is also still throwable for the average player. I've always liked 11 and 12 speeds for my distance drivers because they just seem to work the best, have the best blend of speed to get you that distance, but still accuracy and control. Where if you start getting into the 13 and the 14 speeds, at times they get a little more squirrely or a little bit tougher to control, and then they will also tend to fade out a little bit stronger, especially if you don't get them up to speed. This disc flew pretty true to the flight numbers, in my opinion. It held up nice and straight when thrown flat and would finish out at the end of the flight. Holds a Hyzer extremely well. It also holds a strong Hyzer really nice and swings around the corner, where a more aggressively overstable disc just really wants to dump to the ground. This thing holds that nice long sweeping Hyzer due to the extra glide and the fact that it's not so overstable at the end of the flight that it doesn't want to fall out of the angle and wants to kind of keep pushing forward as it moves its way left. So really nice, solid flyer that's pretty neutral overall. Again, for some reason, we just didn't throw this thing on Anheuser very much, but the few times that we did, it held it down to the ground pretty nice. It didn't turn and burn, but it doesn't have much in the way of natural turn at all. So again, pretty true to the flight numbers from my experience based on testing these two different ones. It seemed like the Aura plastic had a touch more glide and therefore a touch more distance capability. Depending on the angle, it did skip quite well as well once it landed. So if you wanted to throw a Hyzer that got to the ground and also kind of skipped left to get you over to that side a little bit farther on the fairway, this could be a good option as well. And all in all, it's a solid disc that I think most players could find a use for, whether you have a bigger arm, you want to throw it on slight Hyzer, let it flip up to flat just a little bit with that increased speed, or throw it nice and flat and smooth and just get a flat, straight shot out of it. And then lower arm speeds like me, it's a really smooth Hyzer disc and something I can throw flat without worrying about having it flip over accidentally. Good, workable, throwable 11-speed disc that I think a lot of players would dig. We definitely enjoyed testing it. So that is my review on the Animus. If you guys would like a chance to win this beautiful kind of Christmas themed Aura Animus. All you have to do is like the video, be subscribed to the channel, and head down to the description and you'll find a Google form. Fill that out with a valid email and your full name and you'll be entered to win this thing, and I will announce a winner sometime early in the new year. Thanks once again to otbdiscs.com for sponsoring this video. Go to OTB Discs and use my code NERD, N-E-R-D, to get yourself free shipping and so that they know that you saw them right here on the Disc Golf Nerd channel. Thanks to everybody for their continued support. I'll check you later. Cheers. Thank you so much for watching, and big thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. If you would like to see your name listed in the credits of all of my videos, go to patreon.com/discgolfnerd.